Goldminded Records, they're not your friends.
What up? It's Klive Kraven. I'm back again with a brand new video. This time, new versus. That's right, taking two different movies. We're going to compare them. They're going to be two films that are looked at by either me or other people in cinema as similar films, or they have similar aspects or concepts between them, or even originals versus remakes. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick apart two films today. I have two classics here. I do enjoy both films. I do have one that I prefer, obviously. But we're going to talk about Friday the 13th versus The Burning. Both of these films have ups and downs to them. Let's talk about Friday the 13th first. So, Friday the 13th, okay? Friday the 13th is an absolute classic. This is the original 1980 Friday the 13th. I do like this film. It's one of my least favorite actually out of the franchise, but I do like it. And I'll tell you why. It is very cool. The concept is there. It is a good slasher for being one of the originating ones. I mean, yeah, we had Halloween around this time a couple years earlier, but 1980, this is kind of early into the slasher rebirthing, so to say. Yeah, this really kind of was the first rebirthing of the slasher genre. Before the Scream era. This was kind of the first rebirthing we got, because obviously we had the Peeping Toms and the Psychos from back in the day, but this was like the first one. This and Halloween were kind of part of that rebirthing of the slasher genre, in my opinion, at least in the mainstream. So, Friday the 13th, it's a really good film. It's got all the aspects that you want there. The downside to it, though, obviously for me, was finding out that it wasn't actually Jason. You don't even get a Jason in this movie. It's funny because growing up, when I watch these films, I never even thought about that or recognized that until I got older. But it's revealed that it's not even Jason until like part 2. You don't even get him. So yeah, that kind of fucked things up a little bit for me. But what I wanted to say about The Burning, on the other hand, is very similar to Friday the 13th. We've got a group of kids that are at a camp. Very similar circumstances. A counselor gets killed. It's almost a reverse story of Friday the 13th. I almost look at it, The Burning is the inverted version of Friday the 13th, and I'll tell you why after I discuss why I like The Burning. The Burning I like so much because I feel like the kills are really great, gruesome. You got Tom Savini doing the effects. I thought the story was great. I love the setting. I love the 80s slasher vibe to it. Just the whole theme of the movie. The soundtrack is amazing. You've got a young George Costanza fucking in here. Obviously Jason Alexander, not George Costanza, but this is just so good. Savini doing the makeup in this. Phenomenal soundtrack by Rick Wakeman. It's so good. There's a ton of things I love about this movie, but the revenge story is what draws me in as well. I really do like the revenge story because you feel bad for Cropsey, although I will say it's strange that he doesn't actually kill the people that ended up burning him alive, which is a little bizarre. But now let's look at the comparison of these two. So Friday the 13th and The Burning. Here's what I see big similarities between these. These are both slasher films, both around the same era. Both have a mutated or evil villain that are in them. Obviously that doesn't take place until later in the Friday the 13th, but you get the picture. This is basically comparing all this franchise to this, but we're using this as the prime example because it's the original. So you have both settings are at a camp. You have both a group of kids in this slasher flick, and in this one the counselor gets killed, in this one the kid gets killed. And revenge is sought on the counselors, and this one revenge is sought on the kids. And this one the antagonist is, your villain is burned alive. In this one your villain is drowned. So they're very, very similar to me, and they're almost inverted aspects to me, honestly. I really view these as like polar opposites to each other, although they're like exactly the same. They're like the brothers of film for the slashers, for this genre, in my opinion. So which one do I choose? Which one? Which one do you think I prefer out of these two? What is it going to be? Is it going to be The Burning? Is it going to be Friday the 13th? I prefer The Burning. The Burning for me is an absolute classic. It wins overall. There's no stop in this movie. There's no top in this movie. It's phenomenal. Love the gore. Love the effects. Love the characters. Love the soundtrack. One of my favorite slashers of all time. Absolute classic. Love Savini's effects in this. Just an excellent, excellent slasher. Great horror film. Embodies the 80s genre, the slasher genre, and just phenomenal film. And I really love this Scream Factory release of it as well. And that pretty much wraps up my Versus video. The winner is The Burning officially. Make sure you guys tune in next week where I'll be doing another Versus. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment in the box down below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.